Putin targets Germans living in Russia in search for cannon fodder.
Here's a summary of the article.
Russia has launched a propaganda drive targeting German speakers for its army and Wagner mercenary force in the latest case of Vladimir Putin seeking ethnic minorities to be cannon fodder. In recent months, organizations claiming to represent the interests of ethnic Germans in Russia have been bombarding the minority group with war propaganda, with a particular emphasis on attracting youngsters. It bears the entwined flags of Germany and Russia and urges ethnic Germans to donate to the armed forces and attend free pro-war concerts. The propaganda material was first unearthed by the Society of Germans of Zaporizhia, a group of ethnic Germans living in Ukraine which has called on its Russian counterparts to campaign against the invasion. In a recent letter to the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, they wrote, "We have publicly addressed the ethnic Germans of the Russian Federation, calling on them to refuse to participate in the war against Ukraine. We believe this step is crucial given the conditions of daily information propaganda in which ethnic Germans in the Russian Federation live. We urge representatives from Russian German organizations living in Germany to follow our example." The Society of Germans of Zaporizhia also stressed that ethnic Germans in Russia faced appalling abuse during the Second World War, and said the state was now doing the same thing in Ukraine.
This post received a score of 7,700, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Embarrassing for Berlin? As if Germany has any powers over the remnants of the Wolga Dutch.
Most of Wolgadeutsche used the chance and moved to Germany around 1990s. Some are in AfD and licking Putin's boots. Edit. Don't think that Wolgadeutsche are a homogeneous group. Some lived their German heritage till they moved back and others didn't.
Yeah, I know. Most of them are totally Russian too. They were only classified as Germans in the Soviet, Russian nationality classification system, so they had that identification in their documents, but they were Russified many generations ago.
They are not Russians, they were classified as Germans because most of them actually have German ancestors. Following Catharina the Great's invite, they established somewhat independent German villages along the Wolga. They didn't have to pay many taxes and were mostly left alone, were speaking German and kept most of their traditions until Stalin started to move them out as he was worried they would run over to the Germans. They adapted to the culture, built a life there and raised 3 children, which all tried to move to Germany because they still felt like Germans.
Greater than the other brother got denied for some reason, got frustrated and moved to Moscow, where he still lives. He sadly got fully Russified and supports Putin. Well, he got denied by his homeland and probably felt it was betrayal, that left him vulnerable.
Greater than the disclosure is disturbing and potentially embarrassing for Berlin, as Russia is in effect weaponizing German culture against Ukraine. Why in the everlasting fuck should it be embarrassing for Germany if Russia starts a propaganda campaign to lure some German LARP communities to become filling for a Mobique meat cube? Germany has no responsibility towards these people as they are Russian citizens and quite frankly fuck them. Insert Jeremy Clarkson "oh no anyway" meme here and have nice day.
If anything, they at least won't vote AfD.
I call that a win.
What an honor to serve as cannon fodder for Vladir's special military operation.
Volodya is the diminutive form of Vladimir.
I like to call him Vova.
Funnily enough, I like to call him vulva. Or at least a related word.
Except vulvas are nice and useful.
Greater than the disclosure is disturbing and potentially embarrassing for Berlin, as Russia is in effect weaponizing German culture against Ukraine. The Telegraph. This is a comment so unhinged and actually stupid. If I hadn't known it came from a UK rag I would now.
Of course German culture exists, the term is as broad as French culture, or Spanish culture. I think British culture is the only debatable term if anything. It's normal for a larger nation to have regional culture. No idea why it's always brought up for Germany specifically, though.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.